Alright, quick update on Waves. So, Waves isn't the only one anymore. A ton of buying volume has come in for Waves, and what's very funny or somewhat ironic about this is the volume is coming in after the news of Luna's Terra UST losing its peg to $1, which is very much in line with what Waves USDN or Waves USD Neutrino stablecoin did. Now, am I saying that this is happening because of UST? Absolutely not. I don't think they've got any correlation whatsoever. I do just think it is kind of funny that as UST has dropped, now the volume is coming in for Waves. It could just be a coincidence with us coming down and at least finding a local bottom, but nonetheless, very interesting. So, Waves isn't performing too bad today. The rest of the altcoin market is kind of heading up. As I do record this, it seems like we are having a very, very big bounce from the bottom. I don't necessarily think the bottom is in for every crypto, and especially for Waves, we need to be very, very cautious because we're really not out of the water, and I do see a ton of resistance coming in for Waves. So let's talk about it. First of all, you can see this big downtrending line of resistance. You're really not out of the blue until, let's say, hypothetically, we break above it today. You would need a break above $14.60 before we would be out of this downtrend that we've been in since the 11th of April. Now, does the downtrend end there? Well, no, it doesn't. It doesn't end anywhere near there, actually, because you can see from a Fibonacci perspective, this 786 Fibonacci has now been flipped as resistance. I'm going to mark it red, even though I normally mark my fibs as orange, and I believe this orange line that we see just below is the Fibonacci from candle body close. Let's see. No, it's not. I don't know why this is okay. So this is from the low, actually. So yeah, let's keep that there. Nonetheless, I really think this is the region where we need to watch for waves before we can get bullish. I have a ton of people ask me in my Waves videos, is now the time to DCA, should I buy now? And people have been asking me that since it was retesting the all-time high at $40, and I don't give financial advice, so if you ask me in the comments for financial advice, I'll probably just have to like the comment and not respond. I don't have enough time to respond to every comment, so if you're asking me for financial advice and I say in all my videos I don't give financial advice, then I do just have to like the comment and move on, unfortunately. But I really don't think now is the time, at least for my trading plan. I don't think now is the right time to be picking up Waves. I think Waves really does still look bearish. Bear in mind, we've only just put in a new low today. The squeeze mom on the daily is still very bearish, and it's going to remain bearish while we chill around these lows. If we come over to the 4-hourly time frame, we've actually been bearish on the 4-hourly EMA ribbon since $46. These started to converge on themselves after we topped out at $64, but nonetheless, the trend has been perfectly defined by your EMA ribbons. Every single time we come and retest them, without fail, we come down and make new lows. Like, it's just a pattern. We do this, we come down, and once again you can see new low from here. I've botched this last drawing, but you can see this was the low, and we've come down and done this again. So we could be coming back up to, you know, $14.50. We could be coming up to $15. It is very, very likely, especially after it's been beaten down this hard in the market. But would I be entering Waves right now? Would I be trying to catch the falling knife? Absolutely not. The stock market's just opened, and I know a lot of you, especially Waves and altcoin holders, probably could not care less about the stock market, but the fact of the matter is, the dollar's showing extreme strength right now, which is making the stock market weak. And I'm not going to go through every stock, but I'll just highlight some of the blue chips. You've got Coinbase down 11% today. If Coinbase, one of the biggest, I mean, just look at their earnings reports. Coinbase makes so much money in profit. I mean, they've got even more in revenue, obviously, but their profit is phenomenal. Coinbase make a lot of money, and they're down 11% today. 11%. Do you think Waves deserves to be up 4% while Coinbase is down 11%? I don't, in my opinion. You can see as well Airbnb breaking down into new lows with tons of volume. Apple is up 1% on the day, but that's just because it closed higher. It's actually pushing up a tiny bit. Apple looks okay, but everything else is breaking down. Netflix is on its lows, Microsoft is on its lows, Google actually looks somewhat okay, but still it's on its lows. Tesla broke down into new lows today. So I do just think we should sit on the sidelines for another couple of days. If we do just have huge macro reversal, that's when I'd be looking to get into coins like, not necessarily waves, because I've highlighted this before. I'm not actually going to trade waves, even if a good opportunity comes up for waves. I'm not the biggest fan of the project. I don't like how they've got a ton of bad press. I don't like how their USD and stablecoin lost their peg to $1. I could go on, but there's a lot of red flags in the waves market right now. However, from a trading perspective, you would at least, and I mean, to be fair, when I say at least, you would be above most of your important resistance after you took out, you know, these lows here. After your 4 hourly EMA ribbons are going to be somewhere around about this region anyway, but you'd be above your daily EMAs and looking for a breakout of your 786 Fibonacci at around about $20.50. Until we get above these important levels, then I would just not touch waves whatsoever. We're down in our last box of support right now. It could get a lot more ugly, and I would just like to highlight, you know, this was waves previous all-time high. This was the bear market accumulation phase, and this was the bottom range, the absolute lows of the accumulation phase before we entered our next bull market. And this bull market was a blow off top that happened very quickly, and once again we found ourselves back in this accumulation range. This setup, just from a technical perspective, is terrible. The chart looks terrible. It's showing extreme weakness. I do try and be the voice of reason. I'm not like a hopium moon boy who's just going to shill you nonsense. You know, I'm going to keep it real even if it's not the most popular opinion. And this chart, it looks like dog water. I've just got to say it how it is. I'm not a fan of sugarcoating things. If it looks bad, I'm going to let you know without beating around the bush that it looks bad. I'm not going to be like, oh, it looks kind of bad, but you know, if we hop above these levels, then we'll be bullish again. I mean, the chart is terrible, so I would be sitting on the sidelines watching with keen interest what unfolds with waves. I will be the first to let you know if we do break bullish, but like I said, 4 hourly time frame defines the trend very well. You can hop above these EMA ribbons, but you would need to come back test them, and then break above where you previously got rejected from. Unless something like that happens, the market's still bearish, and it doesn't matter how many times we come into the EMA ribbons or poke our head above. If we come for a back test and we fail, we're most likely going to be heading down. And what did we do only a couple of hours ago on waves? We back tested, and now we're heading down. Could this be the bottom? Could we be Wing out? Could we be about to experience an influx of volume as the stock market turns back bullish? Yes, it could, but would you prefer to assume you know where the bottom is and have a hole in your hand if you try to catch the falling knife? Because I can tell you, I've been making YouTube videos on waves since we topped out at $64, and, or was it 68 actually? Yeah, $64, and people have been saying buy the dip at 42, people have been saying buy the dip at 36, people have been saying buy the dip at 29, they were saying buy the dip at 20, and people, I imagine, are still probably going to be talking about buying the dip now. If you simply wait for a breakout and buy at $20, sure, you're not going to buy the exact bottom, but you're going to be outperforming all the people who thought they knew best when they bought at $30, $35, $42. And if you are a fan of waves and you think it is going to return to the all-time high, buying a breakout is not going to be the worst returning trade you could possibly enter. So I do think the chart setup for waves does look very bad. We could W out in the lower time frames, like we can always W out in the lower time frames, but at least with all these rejections, with this volume coming in, with Bitcoin still chopping around and not having a macro bottom yet, I would be very cautious trading. I don't want to say meme coins like waves because it's not a meme coin, but you know, the community is clowning it. It's been in bad press. It's been accused of being a Ponzi scheme. Its USDN stablecoin has lost its peg to $1, and also it's back in the accumulation range of the previous bear market. I mean, it's not a good sign. It's not a good sign. So I'd be sitting on the sidelines. Best of luck if you're looking to get in this. As always, not financial advice. Cowboy out. Peace.